And the drive for the GHSA state title presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com continues again this Friday night. Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon Adams, and we're happy actually to welcome in our favorite of the Manzels, Kaylee Manzel, pinch hitting for her father, Rusty Manzel here. Of course, she's been a big part of our broadcast team all year long. And Kaylee, before we get into this week's game, can you believe that we're already like Thanksgiving week and a season that feels like it started like 5 minutes ago is all of a sudden starting to near its end? Hard to imagine, isn't it?
I mean, it's baffling, right? You've got Corky Kell to start out with 11 games right then and there. It almost seems like it's never going to end, but then you get to this point and it's like, whoa, where did all the time go?
That's exactly right. And by the time you get to this sort of late stage of the season, teams practicing on Thanksgiving Day and then playing on Black Friday, you've only got good teams left, right? And certainly
Exactly.
for us, go ahead.
I think you said it best. When you get to this point in the playoffs, pretty much every single matchup that you have is going to be fairly even. And I personally think we're getting a steal here for the Elite Eight between number one, number two. On the one hand, you've got a team like Cedar Grove, who they're comfortable in this position. They've won 4 out of the last 6 state championships. And, you know, when they play the regular season, they're not thinking about the regular season. They're thinking long term. They went 9-2 on the year, but played one of the toughest non-region schedules we've seen this far, including teams like Colquitt and Mill Creek. Who are still in the playoffs. So, you know, they're explosive, they're scrappy. However, there is a team I feel like that's kind of flown under our radar this year, and that's Calvary Day, a team out of Savannah who, you know, they're not one of these Atlanta teams that we get to see very often, but I'd like to think of Calvary Day as on their Taylor Swift reputation revenge tour. They're in a similar position that they were in last year. They were undefeated last year heading into the quarterfinals, ultimately fell short to Fellowship Christian, and they didn't finish the season out how they wanted to. So here they are coming into this matchup against Cedar Grove, undefeated, but this time they want to finish. And I ultimately think this matchup comes down to who can play all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
But don't count Calvary Day out just yet. They got players on both sides of the ball going to Power 5 schools.
That's right.
They've got what it takes. I really don't think we're going to know, Brandon, until the final minutes of that matchup.
No, I think you're right about that. And if you're trying to beat a team like Cedar Grove, who, as you said, got this great state championship reputation, having a quarterback like Jake Merklinger, you know, one of those top flight kind of SEC level quarterbacks, that's the recipe for winning a game like what they're going to probably face from a team like Cedar Grove.
I mean, absolutely. Like we said, Cedar Grove, they know what it feels like to be in this position. They're a team that's consistently in the playoffs. I think Calvary Day is going to be their toughest matchup up until this point. So we'll see how they handle it when the time comes, Brandon.
We'll see you indeed. Peachtree TV Friday night. Kaylee Manzel will have you in the host position, talking to both coaches and giving us lots of insight from right down there on the field. And I'll be in the broadcast booth with Rusty Manzel there as well. Cedar Grove and Calvary Day. A great, great battle as the drive for the GHSA state title rolls on. Presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We'll see you then, everybody.